too, and I appreciate everybody tuning in on Facebook Live, on the Physical Court page, and also on Breathitt County Judge Executive page. You know, somebody maybe want to view it, go ahead and contact them or whatever. But the reason we're doing this live is on the government's recommendations, try to keep the crowd down to minimum, and as everybody knows right now, the courthouse is completely shut off to foot traffic except for just personnel, and it's all due to this COVID-19 coronavirus that we're dealing with. And again, we appreciate everybody tuning in. And before we get started, I'd like everybody to stand, and I'll lead a word of prayer, and we'll do the pledge of allegiance, and then get on with it. Heavenly Father, again, we thank you for another day you've given us, dear Lord, and just pray that you just look down on our nation right now, dear Lord, at this awful disease that's going around. Dear Lord, we just pray that you just speak with all the leaders, dear Lord, from the president down to the magistrate, dear Lord, just help us to do things that will protect our citizens, and very soon there'll be a cure, dear Lord, and medicine that will fight this thing. Pray for the families of each and every one that's got it. I know we've got a couple cases here in our county, and we just pray that you just be with those families and touch their body, dear Lord, and just heal them. Again, we just pray that you just help us to make decisions that will be best for Breathitt County, and move it forward, dear Lord. We never fail to give you praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, got a few things to add to the agenda. The first thing we're going to do is move K. That's consideration of jail approval. We have the jailer here this morning. He is presenting his budget, and he's got a conference call he has to go to, so we're going to move that up and make it the first thing on the list. Consideration of the jail budget. Also, we got a few things to add to it. Number one is revised interfund cash transfer. Number two, the fund action report. Number three, which you're gonna have to help with that, or
the request for disbursement. That's the request for disbursement on the whole severance project. Item I, at the back of it.
okay. And then reconciliation and changes to insurance policies. And then number five, the proposed budget. So if you want to add those to it, we put those at the main
Well,
bottom.
and actually, I think Judge, all those items are actually on the agenda page, but that's the backup for it that was accidentally, and that was my fault, left out of the packet.
And then also number 8, the letter H, discussing possible action pertaining to the county attorney's secretary. We'll move that down to the main bottom before the adjournment. Because we need to go in executive session, and that way we won't have to knock the meeting down and move back up. All right.
Before we start, Judge, if I could, we've got a few items at the agenda also.
Okay.
Remember, you leave off. What's your last number?
Actually, these ones that's on there is already on there, what we read off, so, yeah, we'll move, go ahead and start with Q.
Q. All right. Approval, reimbursement, county attorney, I'm sorry. Approval of expenses paid by Mr. Ted Pillsdorf for fiscal court representation in calendar year 2019 litigation. Next one will be approval of payment of annual training incentives as follows.
What was it now, Donnie?
Approval of payment of annual training incentives
Right.
to Jeff Noble, Roy Darrell Hurl, Ray Moore, Ellis Tincher, and Mitch Smith. Next one will be approval of mandate of fee offices. We submit a quarterly financial report.
Mandated fee office for what now?
Submit a quarterly financial report, detailing revenues collected and expenditures made to the fiscal court.
You said fee offices, is that what you said?
Yes. That would include the sheriff and the clerk's office.
Okay. Is that it?
Next one would be a discussion and possible taking action concerning the construction of a boat dock on the Pamela side of Pamela Lake. Next one will be a discussion and possible action concerning the road department personnel. And the last one will be approval of prepayment of county treasurer's training expenses to include lodging, mileage, per diem retroactive to July the 1st, 2019.
Read it over one more time, I didn't get it done.
The last one, approval of prepayment of county treasurer's training expenses to include lodging, mileage, and per diem retroactive to July the 1st, 2019.
Okay, is that it?
Correct.
Okay, I consider a motion to go ahead and adopt this agenda in as a change has been made and added been made to it.
Motion. Second.
Tony Bush,
Aye.
Roy Darrell, Ray Moore,
Aye.
Ellis Cantor. Motion carried. All right, consideration approval of jail budget, and did you give everybody a copy, you say?
Yeah, everyone should have a copy.
It's in this package, Judge. It's within
The
the
second packet?
overall budget, yeah.
Do you want to say anything in regard to this, Joe? Or
Yeah.
anybody got any questions?
I'd like to point out a couple of things.
Second half.
I should have gave everyone a copy too.
Okay, what have you got you want to point out, Joel?
Okay, on the AC 34 program I started last year, I estimated it, which it was a new program, to bring in around 13,000, but it actually brought in almost 25,000. So that's money that we never got before, you know. And then,
Okay, hold on, I still ain't got that packet, don't get it, I'm on my packet.
Prisoner transport reimbursement
yeah,
on the revenue side. What's the item code, Joel, you know?
it's 03463400.
That is-
That's expedient.
Okay,
What's the code again, Joel?
okay, here we go, don't know the thing.
Sign it.
Yep.
So that done a whole lot better than we expected. And so, you know, if it continues like this for 4 years, that's gonna be approximately $100,000 brought back that we the housing for inmates, has went down some. Last year we agreed on 525,000, but I think 460,000 would be a more accurate number for housing if we continue to house. And also, in my budget, let's take the budget I've done, last year was 756,000. This year, I have brought it down to $731,850, which is around 24,000, so overall $50,000 cut, you know, counting the AC 34 program. And I feel like I'm trying every way, you know, to keep costs down for the jail department, and all I can do is try to save $1 where $1 can be saved.
And two, something I want to implement in this thing, Joe had went and got a bunch of stuff together, and we're gonna try to work together, and ain't nothing more than I'd like to see done than to take her, and it may not be possible, but we have pretty much got a jail already completed next door that hold 54 prisoners. And we're looking at every aspect that we can to maybe try to convert that and use that for what it was intended when it was originally built. And this inmate bill, I mean, 400,000, that's, you know, that's breaking the county really. I mean, it's running the county. What cold service money we did get back, when they had put it in the jail fund as quick as it came, just to pay the jail bill, and it's gonna go down even more next year, and in my opinion, the jail inmate housing probably go up. So, we are looking at that. We haven't sat down and got together, due to this, coronavirus, but, we'll sit down at some point and hopefully we can put something together to make this happen.
I also presented, it's from the USDA, it's a grant program for jails. I can give everyone a copy, you know, look through them. There's even up to 75% grants that we can get out there to build a jail. So, you know, we can't be looking at 25% of cost. And I think if we had a jail, I honestly think that their numbers would drop as far as housing and things. I think we could do a lot better with their money. It would go farther.
Well, yeah, part two, when we end up spending housing, would pay a full staff and
Operate it.
can operate it and also create more jobs here in the county
Right.
for individuals. But I do appreciate you working on that. I didn't get to go to Lamar County. You did go to Lamar County.
I did,
It's a new opening. They've got a prison over there that we're going to do federal and state inmates will probably end up making money.
Yeah.
And that's something that's unheard of this day and time.
And also, if we could get, say, approximately 120-day deal, if we could hold as many state inmates as we can county, that's
All said and
where,
running.
yeah, that's where we can get ahead.
So like I say, Joe has called me 2 or 3 times to try to get together, and we haven't been able to do that, but I appreciate you working on it, and we'll continue to work on it and try to make something good happen here in the county that related to bad crime, so.
Well, I would appreciate consideration, you know.
Well, Judge, I'll say, when I was a county attorney, whenever the jail behind the judicial center was designed, and the fiscal court decided not to go forward with it due to cost issues of running the jail, what their vote was, then you might revisit those numbers that were all done. Garland Van Duck was the person at ALC that did all that. That jail was basically about ready to be built and designed, and then the county decided not to go forward with it. So you might want, if there's files around and all that stuff, you might want to revisit all those issues. Now, it's my understanding that the ALC building can't house prisoners.
Or it's a state building.
It's, you know, you've got tons of issues with that, but if you're going to be looking into that, you need to talk to ALC about it. Otherwise, you have to.
Right, and me and Joe just kind of, we kind of just talked it, but we haven't actually got into it.
That's when Judge Works was judge, when that was built, there should be a file with all that, because they had it designed, had all the cost estimates that are now obsolete, I'm sure, But instead of having to reinvent from the beginning, if you're gonna look at that, there's a lot of that stuff that's already been done and out there.
Good deal. Anybody got any questions for Joe?
Sooner we get aggressive on this, the better off.
And I did look at this grant thing, you got this 75 grant. This may be something that we need to look at it, if this is not seasonable at all, and it may very well not be, we're a state building, and I was just amazed when I walked through it, I didn't realize it's already complete, but it is.
Yeah, you can just hold them for court over there, is my
Yeah.
understanding.
I think it requires like, showers and bathrooms and something. I mean, we checked in that before.
You're not actually referring to, are you referring to the museum?
No, What is 7 different cells?
There's a bunch of holding cells over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But you get into the issue of, there's 2 different designations of jails, there's 2 different levels, there's, like, and I forget the names of them, there's like life service, yeah.
Life safety jails,
Yeah.
which they no longer, are
Yeah.
after one be built.
But like I say, where we got this grant thing, maybe we do need to make this a priority, all of us work together and get with Joe did you get any design plan together from any of the other places that had them?
I'm working on it right now, and I'll continue working and keep everybody updated.
Maybe we could take a plan that's already been designed, architect drawn up, and work through them, and we have got some property that we may be able to.
That building was designed to work with that building. It was all fully designed as one complex, not a structure. They had to change the Sally Port once the jail was voted not to go forward. So there's,
And I think it costs them a lot of money just to take it and take that part out of the building after it's already built. I mean, up in the hundreds of thousands of
I
dollars.
mean, I can just tell you, I don't think any of you guys were on the court at that time. Judge, you might have been, but they were, the cost numbers were huge to run, but that may have changed.
And now the
And that's the
numbers.
reason the fiscal court voted, I don't care what, I'm just saying, that's the reason the fiscal court voted not to go forward with it, because it was like a huge number that they looked at.
Okay. So we'll continue to work on that and see what we can do and that's another thing, man, right now, we don't even have a contract with the jail, we haven't renewed it, and, would like to sit down and talk to them at some point, the other counties, they've cut their, charging half almost of what they were paying, and ours is not changing, it's actually went up to 32. All right, well, thank you, Joe, continue to work on it, we'll get together and we'll look over the budget and,
So we just need a motion to acknowledge the presentation, I guess.
yeah, I think so. I don't think we want to, do you all want to make any approval today? Is something you want to look at and run the numbers and then, but he needed to present it today, his budget, so
Right,
that's
yeah.
really what we're doing, so. I actually consider a motion to accept his budget and look at it and bring it back to the next meeting to vote on.
Motion. Second.
Roy Darrell? Ray Moore? Al Changer? Donnie Bush? Motion carried. Thank you, John.
So procedurally, it's just accepted for review, it's not.
Yeah.
Because the agenda item was approved.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to approve the minutes for February 17th special meeting, February 28th regular meeting, and March 18th emergency meeting. I have a motion.
Second.
Ray Moore. Al Changer. Donnie Bush. Roy Darrell. Motion carried. Consideration approval for February 2019 Justice Center Corporation Fund Report. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Al Changer. Donnie Bush. Roy Darrell. Ray Moore. Yep. And used to forget. Motion carried. Okay, consideration approval of the finance statement and appropriation revenue condition report.
Motion.
Second.
Donnie Bush,
Aye.
Roy Darrell, Ray Moore,
Aye.
Ellis Cantor.
Aye.
Motion carried. Consideration of approval of budget transfer batch 09-001. That change, look at that, I consider a motion for that.
Motion. Second.
Roy Darrell,
Aye.
Ray Moore,
Aye.
Ellis Cantor,
Aye.
Donnie Bush.
Aye.
Motion carried. D, consideration and approval of interfund transfer into account number 09-001.
And that'll actually be the amended version that I put
On number 1.
in that package. That'll be the top thing there.
The changes that I made before the meeting, that number 1 would be the one to go in there. Do we have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Ray Moore,
Aye.
Ellis Cantor,
Aye.
Donnie Bush,
Aye.
Roy Darrell. Okay, consideration of approval of fund active reports, and that, also the changes that were made on number 2 that we presented before the meeting. And a motion,
Motion.
and a second.
Second.
Okay, Ray Moore,
Aye.
Ellis Cantor,
Aye.
Donnie Bush,
Aye.
Roy Darrell.
Aye.
Motion carried. Consideration of approval of all legal bills on vendor's claim list.
Motion.
Have a second.
Second.
Ellis Cantor,
Aye.
Donnie Bush,
Aye.
Roy Darrell,
Aye.
Ray Moore.
Aye.
Okay, consideration of approval of second reading and adoption of budget amendment 2020-BO002. Read that, Chris?
An ordinance relating to the fiscal year 1920 annual budget and amendment thereof, whereas the Breathitt County Fiscal Court has realized unbudgeted receipts from the following funds, be it ordained by the Breathitt County Fiscal Court of the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Ray Moore,
Aye.
Ellis Cantor,
Aye.
Donnie Bush,
Aye.
Roy Darrell.
Aye.
Okay, and then H was one that we moved to the bottom. I is consideration approval of RFD number 5 for the coal surface project N-143 upon receipts of funds in amount of $47,712. And that was also the changes on number 3.
And what that is, will be the payment of this month's jail bill. And we'll pay, that'll be approval payment for that upon receipt of funds, and I expect those to come in the next week.
Motion. Second.
Donnie Bush,
Aye.
Roy Darrell,
Aye.
Ray Moore,
Aye.
Ellis Cantor.
Aye.
Motion carried. J, consideration and approval of modification, recommended change of the county K-code, all line funds of insurance policy. Have y'all looked at that, and Mitch, if you want to kind of explain that a little bit, if you,
Last year, the county, just for their auto and equipment insurance policy, we paid over $50,000. And that's in, like I said, insurance vehicles, our road equipment. I looked over the list, they send it every year for approval and sent back. And there was equipment on there, vehicles on there that we had been paying for that we haven't had in years. There was one piece of equipment dated back to '79 or something.
it was some kind of piece of equipment on
Yeah.
the county garage,
And there's a constable, I won't name him, he's dead, we're still insuring his vehicle. It was never updated. And so,
last year, we went through the list, Chrissy got together on the fire department vehicle. Same way, we had vehicles that were sold and gone for years, and we cut it probably a third or better, didn't we? And did you get a price on how much this
I
one
did,
is?
I sent an email to Keiko, they've not responded, but I mean, you'll look through there, there's a significant number of vehicles that we can take off. There's a significant number of vehicles that we can change to liability, for example, and any affected department, I did call ahead before I listed, like the coroner, his 07 Suburban, he was fine with that. hospitals that's used, the value of it versus what we're paying for full coverage. It made it more, it was wise to knock it down to liability only. Same deal on equipment, at the road department. And for example, on our computer equipment here, we were paying it on an assessed value of $150,000 is what it was insured at. I talked with Matt Hudson, who's our IT guy. He said the number is realistically more around 50,000. And so hopefully with all of these implemented changes, we'll see a significant cost savings. Again, I did reach out to KCAR, our insurance agent. I asked for an estimation. That's been 2 weeks ago. I still haven't heard anything, but I have to imagine that it'll be
You
significant.
know, this stuff going with this COVID-19, and they've been up on top of it. Every day it's almost a conference call or something that they're really working hard at trying to stay on top of it.
And just from the insurance perspective, it's best to value those at replacement cost, because that's all they're gonna pay you.
Yeah.
They're not gonna pay the market value.
Yeah.
You can get replacement cost for it, so it's.
Yeah, like last year, when we went through the fire department, some of the vehicles, they could have bought 3 for what they were insured for. This will help some, I don't know, that's why actually got a price tag, I don't have to, so.
No, is it?
So I guess we need,
We do need to approve.
I guess we need approval when we get the updated price to go ahead and make a motion to authorize changes to be made to the policy. And
Motion.
Second.
Roy Darrell. Ray Moore. Ellis Cantor. Donnie Bush. Motion carried. Okay, then took care of the jail budget. Consideration approval and award construction contract for the South Fork campground construction. Contract number 3 to Blaze Enterprise LLC in the amount of $201,351.50.
Where's these guys from, Judge?
These guys ended up being from around
Lake City.
Lake Stanton area there somewhere.
One part,
Well, they done the bid opening, and it was a lot higher than what they projected it to be. But I guess, when you start grading topsoil, when they add and taking away, but this is money that we did have left over from the water project and the electrical running up to the top, so but we need a motion to approve paying when,
That was the initial grant, correct?
yeah.
I talked to Paul and Esther, they both recommended this. Evidently, they've worked with these guys before, and I think Matt had checked them out.
Well, and if you look in the back of your packet, what I noticed is Nesbit included, it was a tabulation. There was 3 contractors. One was Standard for Build out West Liberty, another was out Hazard, Bayless Campbell, and then these guys, and they did come in lower. And Nesbit had.
They was like 15 at the, when I looked at it, and I think there's 5, was it 5 ended up bidding on it, or was it?
It says according to there's 3. Yeah. And I actually.
And I did have a couple people call and say, who got the bid and what was the price, and she said, well, I'm not mad, she said, she bid, they bid $10,000, I think, was her anyway, so.
Had some walk in late that day too, didn't get their bid in time. They just didn't meet the deadline. I come over and they just walked in.
That's probably the call, then.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody will make a motion to do that,
Motion.
and second. Ray Moore, Ellis Cantor, Donnie Bush, Roy Darrell. Consideration and approval to pay physical court 40-hour training. This is something I thought was on standing order, but it's not, and this is when you get your 40-hour training in to be paid for your training. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
And a second.
Second.
Ellis Cantor, Donnie Bush, Roy Darrell, Ray Moore. Motion carried. Consideration and approval for George Turner to represent the Breathitt County Conservation Office, and he did call, and you want to check with Bridget and see if they sent a thing over, they want to back something over, and I didn't see it in the packet. shut down for traffic, and he could just send it over when we,
Give me the, Becky said we got to have our budget to get her.
yeah,
We
yeah.
got her over.
You can, you too. Yeah.
Bridget's gonna print it out, so if y'all wanna wait or skip.
Okay,
the
so we get
time,
Becky, we'll go ahead and do it, we'll go ahead and do hers, then while she's getting that together. We'll just skip a line. It's on my phone, but I think we've got something else we had to add there for. Hey. Is that what you think we have to have? I'm gonna look on my phone. So you write it down. I just have to think with it, I wouldn't have write it down. Just write that down, we had them too. I think there were 4 things, wasn't
Three.
I thought number 4 was AT&T, if it was the prices were.
Oh, there is one thing. Yeah, there are.
Thank you, sir.
In the basement.
Sold it, right?
You'll have it on your phone.
Yeah.
That's on the line.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, what do we do on Sunday? Okay, the next thing on the list is consideration and approval for a Griffin County clerk budget and payment. And Becky, I'm gonna let you bring, I think this was a loan that we had, this is a $10,000 loan that we had given her to start off with. And she has got it to return back today, and also she has got a question on, something with the training.
Okay, yeah, first of all, I do appreciate y'all letting me borrow this money to get me started off in the first of the year. And like I said, I told y'all I'd give it back to you, so here it is back, $10,000, and I really appreciate y'all for letting me do that. And I also want to let y'all know I purchased a drop box for out front, so we can let all the customers, we'll try to do everything that we normally do for them. I tried to get it ordered sooner, but I couldn't, but Dotwell's done it for me, and actually Sonny's actually putting it up today. It's gonna run me $285, and the screws and everything, about altogether around $300. And I don't have a line item for it, but I'm gonna go ahead and, pay that if y'all are in agreement, where I don't have it on the line item, if y'all can great for me to pay for that. And, also, I'm gonna ask you all, if y'all possibly will, out of the goodness of your heart, give me my, training back. The way the nation and our county is right now, actually, we're not having our training right now, but, as the governor talks, I think, the election's gonna be, like a lot different for us when we do have our election. And it's gonna be a must that I go for training, because it's gonna be a lot of paper ballots, the way I understand. And I'm just asking, if you all can, I would appreciate it if you all would see in your heart to give me my fee for my, I think we had $9,500 on there for my training for the coming year. I would appreciate that. And, I also would like for everybody to know that we have you can do your web renewal online also. We got that up and running. And, I do appreciate you all working with me, and, you know, I'd ask y'all to get that back to me if you all see your heart's beat.
Okay, so I think this will be okay. Consideration of approval for Breathitt County clerk budget payment that she returned to $10,000 that she loaned. Also, to line item, a line for a drop box, for around $300 for the box and the installation and both. And then $9,500 to put that back. Was that originally in your budget that it was taken?
Yeah, it was in my budget.
To line item, the training money to be put back in her line item.
So we're pretty much asking for $10,000 in return. That adds up to the
No,
box.
I'm not asking for any money in return. Y'all never gave me any money. That's
She
just
was
the way
still having to
I-
operate out of her office, but where she's on a line item basis, the last training, they couldn't go to it because she couldn't pay for it and get reimbursed because it wasn't.
And y'all had passed that in January on me, and I had already paid my fees for the year. And I talked to my auditor about it, and she said that, you know, she told me that she thought I'd be good to do it, because she didn't never hear the clerk have that took from her.
You don't have a line item where you can put the drop box.
No. Y'all give me a line item.
Everything's on a line item, so you have to
All
add that.
supplies, you can't put that in a line item to cover that.
I mean, I'm gonna do it regardless if y'all give me authority to do it, because I have to have it for the customers. So if you don't wanna approve it, that's fine, I'm gonna pay it, and if I get rolled up, I'll just get rolled up.
But you're saying you don't have a line item in your budget to cover that drop box, correct?
This is not, I wouldn't think so.
Your budget,
I don't know if that'd be considered office supplies.
Well, y'all got me on a line, probably one of the clerks in the whole state that's on a line item budget. I've asked around, all else is on that. I mean, if y'all don't trust me enough, I usually ask y'all about everything I do. I don't try to hide nothing on you all. So I don't know why that you would have me on a line item.
It's not a trust issue.
Well, I'm just asking you to give me my expense back. I didn't even spend $8,400 last year, and every one of us girls went to training. When we do our gas tickets, we carpool. You know, we use one gas ticket for our gas mileage. When we go to our motels, we run together, which they probably don't like that because I snore a little bit, but that's beside the point. I try to save the money the best I can, and I'm asking to give that back to me.
Okay, does anybody want to make a motion to line item $300 for the drop box that she purchased for this, conductor drop your ice and receipts and all that stuff in, and then line item $9,500 for, line item or $9,500 back in her budget for training. And Roy Darrell makes a motion, do we have a second?
Guys, I really don't see no problem with this. I mean, we're gonna get our training paid for. We're all getting ours paid for. I mean, it's only fair that's the way I see it.
And
You know, I mean, everybody's gotta have the training.
And two, with this COVID-19 and a special election, I don't know about her, but every day I'm locking in on a conference call and things.
I promise y'all, I'll work with y'all. I promise
Things
you.
are changing early.
And that office is your all's office. If you all see I'm doing something wrong, I'm working with you all. I promise I will. If you all feel like I won't, come to me, I will.
I don't think none of us have a problem with you not running it the way you should.
Yeah. I feel like everybody should get their training. I mean,
Okay.
I'm in total agreement with you.
Roy Darrell made a motion, do we have a second?
Say,
Thank you.
Donnie Bush? Roy Darrell. Ray Moore. Ellis Cantor. Motion carried.
Appreciate y'all, I really do. That
Thank you.
office is yours, if y'all need anything, just let me know.
Next time I come in, I'd like for him to speak to me. It's,
Hey, have I ever not spoken to you?
I come in there the other day, and the only person there said, two workers up front, I went around to the girl, the little common girl, I guess.
Was I in there?
I didn't see you, I seen everybody but you, and everyone them loved to speak to me, so.
Listen, if you tell me and I'll,
If they got a problem with me, I'll go, I mean, you can put it, what you
Ray, I know
want.
what
I'll go to another county before I'll get treated like that.
well, I'll scold them for that. if they
I don't want you to scold them, they done it, they know they done it, and
You
I've
know what,
done nothing to
But
them.
you know what, I think we're all on edge, who's against who.
No,
It
I
shouldn't be
agree.
that way.
I agree.
It shouldn't be that way. We should all be in this
I've
together.
done nothing.
Okay.
All right, I love you all, and I really appreciate you all.
Thank you,
Hope
Vicki.
nobody gets his fires.
Thank you, Vicki.
Thank you all.
Okay, next thing is consideration of approval of Breath County Sheriff delinquent tax audit tax bills in amount of $40,459.75. And I don't know if y'all looked at that or not, that's the link tax bills from 17-ish.
It was.
In 2017, and this was 3 different bills. So our consideration of motion,
Ray Clemens administration.
It was.
yeah, it's 2017.
Right.
So we got to pay
It's
him.
bad, it's a bad situation, but when he left office, he turned over 90% and 95% of his excess fees. It ultimately is our responsibility, whether that's fair, whether that's not.
It's a physical court bill regardless of what it is, we have to pay, it has to be paid. Kind of the same deal when I came in, we had, I don't know exactly how, but it was way up there, it was $87, just one audit, and I think we're getting ready to get 2018 ain't been done yet, and what I'm gathering, it's gonna be a real $5 audit too,
They're just finishing.
but we have to pay for it.
They just did the exit interview on Friday. They're just finishing that, so it should come out.
I make a
And
motion.
my recommendation would be to approve to pay that in 2 installments. One this month, one next month. We could pay it this month, but I'd rather do it.
Okay,
I make a motion to leave it for the next 2 months.
okay, the amount of $40,459.75 to be paid in 2 payments. And Ray Moore made the motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Who seconded that?
I did.
Roy Darrell.
Aye.
Ray Moore.
Aye.
Ellis Cantor.
Aye.
Donnie Bush.
Aye.
Motion carried. Let me, you may have to help me out with this. No, the next one on the list is approval to pay Ned Pillendorf, $1,500 for the physical court retainer. Do we have a motion?
Is that your add-ons or?
No, that was your add-ons. That's B.
That's number Q.
Or Q.
You? Yeah, I guess. That was one that you had added on.
Motion.
Who made the motion, Ellis?
Second.
Let's see, Ray Moore,
Aye.
Ellis Cantor,
Aye.
Donnie Bush,
Aye.
Roy Darrell. Or approve annual training expense for Jeff Noble, Roy Darrell, and Miss Smith. And this is the per diem mileage and training deal.
That's incentives, man.
No.
Training incentives
Then
Okay, what was it now?
Approval
You need all of
of payment of annual training incentives as follows: Jeff Noble in amount of $1,000.
Okay, annual training, I left the word training down.
It's all 5 plus an edge was the motion.
Right.
How about the other 3?
The motion was all
Yeah,
5.
that's on there.
Mine's not on there.
Jeff Dawson, Roy Darrell, Earl, Ray Moore, Ellis Tincher.
On 6 of them.
Don, but the only one that's not done, because we haven't got his letter yet.
I haven't received my letter.
Oh, okay,
All
okay,
of us, all of us except Donnie's on there.
okay.
And it says,
How come I don't get there? You don't need to be on there, do you?
No, yeah, because Because remember, that dock, it's $1,100, it's $1,078.
They'll-
It's
they-
But you
1,000.
ain't got your 40 hours in?
Yeah,
You do, you
yeah,
got your.
I got mine.
Okay, I just left somebody out there.
Yeah, it's,
Roy Darrell, Mitch Smith, Ellis Tincher,
everybody include.
And Ray Moore.
Except me.
okay.
And
I didn't have everybody wrote down there, that's why I didn't.
part of the motion, there's, these training centers shall be processed
Right,
in the March 25th, 2020 payroll cycle with retirement and taxes deducted as required by law.
okay, got you. Motion,
Motion.
second.
Second.
They must not want theirs, I'll take mine.
Donnie Bush,
Aye.
Roy Darrell, Ray Moore. Ellis Tincher. Okay, Steve Gibbs anyway. Okay, yes, go ahead and read the next ad on you, Elmer, because I got it running with another line, that's why I'm reading from one line to the next, or what got Donnie, S that you had in on.
Approval of mandated fee officers to submit a quarterly financial report detailing revenues collected and expenditures made to the fiscal court to the regular meetings held in the months of January, April, July, and October. This includes the sheriff's office and the clerk's office, which are fee offices. In other words, they collect fees,
For January, April, and July.
right? I mean, it's just like, right,
You want now?
Every quarter, January.
Take it, October.
these fee offices are, their budgets are run on a calendar year from January to December. And what they
You
can
need
check,
January, April, and July, first three quarters.
right, just like
Okay.
that.
Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roy Darrell. Ray Moore. Ellis Tincher. Donnie Bush. Okay, discussion of possible action on a boat dock on the city side,
Bambo side.
On Pamela Lake, lakeside.
the side that we've got already, the two we've
It's on
got.
Pamela side.
Bambo side.
They had
That one's in bad shape.
it's back, we put the boat down in there on the right.
Okay, we've got the new aluminum one.
Yeah, it's on
And
the
then
other
they,
side.
then they redone the other one for the floor in it last year, right?
It's bad shape, can't even use it.
Oh, is that right?
We got a grant on that one.
Yeah, we got a grant, we got a grant on that, actually finished the grant up on pouring the handicap accessible walkway down. There may be another grant available, I don't know, we could get with them and see,
That's what I do, check.
we can take a check. And it probably won't be wood, it'll probably be something like what we've got, and actually, it needs up there anyway, they need one for the boat to tie, when they put in, and then another one for people in the fish shop.
There's that down there, one of the poles or something, I was over there, that thing looked.
Bad shape.
Broke right down in the water.
Yeah.
I bet Steve's styrofoam, on these bottom, it probably didn't fell down.
They pulled it out of the water now, it's sitting on the grass. Well, that is, as of the other day.
I just give the Jennifer and see what
Yeah.
that brings.
I'll get with Jennifer and see if they, some money available for that, cause I'm thinking that grant was got before I came in here, the one it was built, I think they finished it after I came in office, but it was a previous grant that had to be closed out, I think it was in of January, that's when we done the handicap from the porta pot down to the thing, so.
I think Mitch might email Jennifer, and there's a lot of different ones up there. Different types of grants that we could probably get to fix it.
So do we need to make a motion to just, check on the grant, or just, I go ahead and get with her and see what's available and, bring it back? Do we need to make a motion on that? Or just get a check on the grant and see what's available when they come back?
Yeah, that,
Okay. We'll check on that. Let's see, discuss possible action on road department personnel. Why don't we go ahead and just move it? Will that be done in executive session? We can go ahead and move you and tie it in with H.
yeah.
under executive session. B, approval. Go ahead and read that, if you want to, Donnie, that you had on prepayment.
Prepayment of county treasurer's training expenses to include lodging, mileage, and for them retroactive to July 1st, 2019. We've always paid, since I've been on this court, we've always paid whoever the treasurer was responsible. We've already paid their hotel bills, training expenses.
And I named it to me this morning, and I went ahead and, I think that's something that's supposed to be pre-approved, but I told him we would just go ahead and put it on here and get it to where, and retroactive back to July 1st, and that's what you're doing pretty much, so. Who wants to make a motion?
Motion. Second.
Ray Moore.
Aye.
Ellis Changer.
Aye.
Donnie Bush.
Aye.
Roy Darrell. Okay, we just thought we had everything added to it that we need to add to it. Mitch actually sent me this last night, and we didn't add it to it. It's 4 more things. I'll just call it item number 1. Twin investment, $645.50 went on the vendor's claim list. I accept the motion to, consideration motion to approve the pay Twin investment $645 for.
What is that?
It's cleaning supplies, it's hand towels, toilet paper, hand sanitizer.
600 what?
$645.50. Ray Moore, do we have a second?
Second.
Tinter. Ellis Changer.
Aye.
Donnie Bush.
Aye.
Roy Darrell. Ray Moore. Motion carried.
Liz, I don't think you ever addressed item N on conservation.
We did we get a copy of that yet?
Yeah.
Everybody else get one? On the 2 page?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is item number N. And look at, they just present a budget, and this is something that, they put it all together and send them, but it's something that the court has to approve their budget for their conservation district. And if he was here, he could probably tell you what's been added and what hasn't been added, but I guess the total of all expenditures is $78,100. And they've got it broke down. Does anybody have any questions, or? And I guess this is money that comes in from the state through their funds. Look like on the physical court side, their mileage tax that they, revenue that they bring in, their budget is $72,000. The direct aid from the state is $3,000. District equipment rental fee is $500. Reimbursement and contribution is $2,500. Interest earned on district accounts is $100. And all those receipts total $78,100. And then the expenditures is the clergy, $27,000. Social Security / Medicaid is $2,100. Withholding taxes is $4,800. Workman comp is $400. Unemployment insurance is $1,600. Health insurance is $2,600. Retirement is $7,500. Employee travels is $350. And then under office operation, their supplies is $1,500. Equipment and maintenance is $1,000. Postage is $200. Legal notices is $400. Which totals $18,225. Your education promotion, looks like the scholarship is $1,000 scholarship. Trees and bags is $900. Breathitt County Extension Office is $700. And local cost sharing is $15,625. And that comes to $9,700. Supervisor's expense, regular per diem is $7,500. Special per diem is $1,200. Social Security / Medicare is $1,000. And gets that total $9,700. Miscellaneous items is the KACD dues, $350, NACD dues, $350, KACDE dues, $25, that totals $725. Payment vendors and zero. So total expenditures, I guess, is $78,100. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Conservation.
Second.
Donnie Bush.
Aye.
Roy Darrell. Jay Moore. Ellis Cantor. Motion carries. And then I guess we've already done the twin investment. And then, as a consideration approval to authorize the county judge executive to reverse and release the settlement agreement with AT&T on behalf of the physical court in the amount of $58,299.75, confirmed with AT&T. We actually done this about 2 months ago, but we done it for the amount of $60,000, and that included tax, sales tax, so they had to take it back off, and we just needed to go through the same motion to agree with the settlement of $58,299.75. Now, this is not money that we're paying. This was something that was, even when I came in office, was something that AT&T was going to do. They never did do any services, but they kept billing us county for it. So, do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roy Darrell.
Aye.
Jay Moore.
Aye.
Ellis Cantor. Donnie Bush.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, this is something that Mitch got yesterday, and his consideration authorized me to suggest improvements recommended by AT&T that would save. I know last year we actually worked with AT&T and our phone bills are less than half of what they were last year. But if we will do this update and go with fiber optic, the AT&T thinks it would save us another 50% on our monthly bills, where they'd be around $900. So, consideration and improvement to authorize to do that, if that is legit. I'm gonna check into it, make sure there ain't no loophole, but, probably save another $1,300 on phone bills.
Motion.
You have a second? Ray Moore. Ellis Cantor. Donnie Bush. Roy Darrell. Okay, consideration and approval of payment and requisition number 4 for the Elkview project upon receipts of funds, and Mitch ain't in here, and I got the amount on my phone. We probably do need a price on this. I think this may be for next, maybe. This last thing on the Elkview project.
When did we plan on starting on this, Bob? That's yeah, it's got to be.
A couple of 90 days. If we want to get her started, we got 90 days to start, so looks like we're going to get on. I've not been up there in a couple of months. I really
Okay, on the receipts of funds, it was invoice number 23338 for Nesbitt Engineering, and it's for an amount of $5,760.80.
How much, Judge?
$5,760.80. And the invoice number is 23338.
And they'll be on receipt of funds.
Yeah. On receipt of funds.
Motion. Second.
Ellis Cantor.
Aye.
Donnie Bush.
Aye.
Roy Darrell.
Aye.
Ray Moore.
Aye.
Okay, I think that's got everything taken care of at this time. time, I'll consider a motion to go in to executive session pertaining to county attorney secretary and also possible action on the road department personnel.
Motion. Second.
Donnie Bush,
Aye.
Roy Darrell, Ray Moore, Ellis Cantor.
And also, we got the two way to get the road repaired, right?
Yep, we done. Okay, I guess at this time, the one that tuning in live, we're gonna shut the cameras down and go into the station. Don't know exactly how long it'll be, you kind of keep eye on it, and then we'll get it back up and going and give you a few minutes to get online and discuss that.
And vehicles shall be driven, not be driven on operating unless sold on with sections, pretty full of sheriff's office on.
Yeah, make sure you go through that thing. Depends what you
Oh, you
need.
mean number 11, you said 10, number 11 is the one where the,
Well, being two.
yep, 10 and 11.
Five.
Are we good?
We're live on
Ten,
both.
11.
Ready then? All right, thank everybody for tuning back in, and before we get started, take a motion to come out of the special executive session.
Motion.
Second.
Donnie Bush,
Aye.
Roy Darrell, Ray Moore,
Aye.
Ellis Cantor.
Aye.
Okay, first thing we'll do is discuss the possible action pertaining to county attorney secretary. We're not gonna do any thing toward that at this time. Item number U, discussion and action for the road department personnel. I accept a motion on the ordinance that was passed last Wednesday, 20-200-318-1 to, we're still under emergency orders, but we will take out,
Well, Judge, what I think you should do is change this to 2020-03-18-2
okay,
and adopt it. As amended.
okay, we'll do that when we take a motion to adopt it in.
Right, I just kind
Okay.
of, before you get too far afield, I think that's the way to do it.
And then what we're gonna do is remove item number 5 out of it. Do we need to read this? I don't think so. Everybody in agreement in it. And then I also, paragraph number 10 and paragraph number 11. So 6 will become 5, 7 will become 6, 8 will become 7, 9 will become 8, number 12 will become 9, 13 will become 10, and 14 will become 11. And by making those changes, it'll be ordinance number 20-318-2. What we're pretty much doing here, we're bringing our employees from the county back to work. We're still gonna keep our distance, all employees. The road crew, we're gonna meet with them tomorrow, the court and me, and just let them know what we expect them to do on distancing. And again, all this will still be in compliance with the governor's recommendations. We want to be a team player, Team Kentucky, but we also want to be Team Breathitt County. And I think by us coming together and working together, and people will see this. And I think it's just, we're in critical times here, it's emergency, but we need to all come together and let everybody know that we're here to do what we can to keep the road as safe as we can, and do what we can, but also work together for the benefit of the county. And I'll accept the consideration and approval to change the ordinance and removing these out and listing it out number.
Motion. Second.
Roy Darrell, Ray Moore, Ellis
This
Changer,
county dash.
Donnie Bush.
Aye.
Motion carries. This time, on consideration motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion. Second.
Ray Moore,
Aye.
Ellis Changer,
Aye.
Donnie Bush,
Aye.
Roy Darrell.
Aye.
And again, thank everybody for tuning in, and if y'all have any problems, I do want to let you know that you can call 606-666-3800, extension 224. But also after tomorrow, to report road, you can call 666-3815. And if you got any questions at all, just dial my office at 666-3800, 224. To report a road outage or road breakage or blockage, feel free to contact the Bastards. Call me when I've been leaving, and I'll continue to do when I leave the office. You can call the courthouse, and the call will still come to me. So we're here to do whatever we can to get through this critical time. Again, encourage everybody to check on their neighbors, the elderly. Make sure they've got needs. If they've got needs, try to help them. And again, we get through this thing, and just be in prayer for the families that are dealing with this awful thing. And again, God bless you all, and God bless Breathitt County. Thank you.